Hello, I would like to talk about everything related to the Rager. So the first thing you need to know is that Ragers do not spawn as singular enemies, they always spawn in packs. Usually on lower difficulties, packs of 3, and higher difficulties, upwards of packs of 6. And the director can sometimes have a group of Ragers pre-spawned in, and then spawn a group of Ragers in with a horde, and you can be dealing with up to about 12 of them in the absolute worst case scenario. So I want to talk about everything you need to do to counter these guys because they have very specific counterplay, and if you don't know it, you get shredded. That's why a lot of new players just immediately fall over to these guys. So first things first, this is where that +3 stamina curio I always go on about really puts in a shit ton of work, which you'll see. So you need to know two things about these guys immediately. One, all of their attacks are double hits, so they will bleed through your toughness virtually immediately. They have like 2 attacks in their combos that aren't double hits. And secondly, their combo is locked in once they start. So, distance. Distance, movement, and the slot system are how you beat these guys. So, what do I mean by that? Well, as soon as they start their combo, as you can see, you can just disengage and you're out. This makes dealing with singular Ragers absolutely trivial, by the way. You can have one, 2, 3 of these guys, let them start their combo, run back, pull out your gun, and this just absolutely eviscerates them. They have nothing they can do because Ragers like to start their combo about here. See? They'll start their combo about 5 meters away from you. So as long... Sorry, I have my auto attack script going. Fucking carpal tunnel, bro. Anyway, so you just sit around this gap here, let them start, and you already know that you're safe from their damage. So the next thing that you need to know is it's very okay to just hold block like this while you look for the other Ragers that spawn. You aren't a Rager. We'll talk about you later, buddy. So you just block one and then look around for the others. As soon as you feel like you found them all and you have them all stacked up like this, well, now it goes back to being trivial to deal with them. See? It's quite the easy thing once you know where they all are and have them all stacked up. Okay, so another thing about Ragers is they're really weak to stagger. See? You can just kind of bully these guys with stagger tools every single day. Think Ogren Punch, Dueling Sword Stab, Shredder Grenades, Veteran Shout. These guys are incredibly weak against any kind of stagger. And as soon as you stagger them, you can take this opportunity to start attacking them. So, what do you do, though, if you have no stagger tools and you don't want to spend ammo on them? Okay, so this is where actually knowing how to melee them becomes very helpful. And this is something you just have to practice. And I highly recommend getting the creature spawner mod and just doing this in the Psychanium, because trying to do this in a game when your teammates are killing them is it's a fucking hassle. Oh yeah, another thing, if you feel like you can't fight the Ragers and you just block and move backwards and you don't know what to do, just ping the ground. People get really annoyed at spam pings in this game because a lot of people that play this game are antisocial and weird. But the ping literally exists for you to say, hey, look at this, I need help. Like, that is literally the purpose of the ping. Is to just non-verbally communicate, like, hey, can someone, look at this real quick, please? Because all it takes is one guy that the Ragers aren't attacking to just shoot them for literally like 1.5 seconds, and then they're dead. And when you consider that they can kill you in 1.5 seconds, yeah, that's definitely worth a call out for. Okay, anyway, so how do you actually melee these guys? Well, it's really easy to just dodge them. And this is where I think a lot of people go wrong. You can dodge one Rager forever. You can dodge 2 Ragers seemingly forever as long as you actually have dodges. However, what do you do when there's 3 Ragers? Well, you can still dodge them a bit, but as you see, one mistake there and you get absolutely shredded. So when there's 3 Ragers, it's best... Oh, that's 4. We'll talk about that in a second. When there's 3 Ragers, it's best to just get them lined up and then back dodge, and then as soon as you see them whiff their attack, you just whiff punish, like we're playing Street Fighter here. See, he attacks, we go. He attacks, we go in. He attacks, we go in. This is also why it's pretty important to have a mod to see your dodge counter. Please, Fat Shark, just make this a base game feature already. So you know if you're safe to dodge out And look, he whiffed, dodge out, he whiffed. Oh, shit, but if you get it wrong, you know, you get shredded. This is why I say you actually need some practice if you want to do this. Because when they have all these attacks stacked up on top of each other, it can be very easy to just lose track of one guy. Now, if we're going to say there's 6 Ragers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If this happens, the only thing you can really do, because you see how he's trying to... You saw how that guy tried to run around here to start attacking me. This is because of the slot system. I have a whole video on this, but honestly, there's just an invisible ring around you like this that has 2 slots in it, and each enemy tries to take the slot. I'll link to a video that explains the system more in depth, but all you need to know for the purposes of fighting Ragers is as long as there's like 2, 3 Ragers in front of you and you're like moving back left or back right, they can only queue up those 2 guys attacking you. So this leads to situations like this, where I know that as long as I have this area clear, I can keep going like this, and I know that I don't have to worry about the Ragers attacking me. Because they can't all be attacking me on the same frame. Okay, hold on. Let me stop talking, though, because this is very punishing to screw up. So, build space. Go in between their attacks. And then keep moving backwards to a diagonal so that they can only queue up so many attacks in the first place. Use a stun if you got it. Oh, man. I'm really bad when I'm trying to explain stuff. So, that's generally the gist, though. And the more experience you get versus this enemy, the easier it'll be to deal with them. This is why I highly recommend the creature spawner mod. Because, man, trying to do this in a game, you'll feel like a fucking idiot if it's your first couple times doing it. But, yeah, that is pretty much everything. Oh, yeah, something to note. You really do not need maniac damage ever on any weapon to deal with them. Okay, so, if I had to review this real quick, it would be stun. The best way to deal with them in order is just build distance and shoot them. If that's not an option or you're conserving ammo, stunning them with any kind of stagger is the next best option. And the worst option is just trying to back dodge them and then wait for them to finish an attack and then go in on the whiff of that attack. But, I mean, as you can see, this is not super consistent because it's very easy for one Rager to get behind another Rager and cover their attacks. See, there you go. That's an example of doing it correctly. Fucking took me long enough. But, yeah, gunning them down. Well, no, actually, you know what? Let me make an asterisk. Getting your teammates to attack them while they're distracted is the best. Then shooting them is the next best. Then using stuns is the third best. And the worst option is just manually trying to kite them back and attack in the few frames you have where they aren't covering each other with attacks. But, yeah, for most people, I'm going to say that you aren't going to want to put in all that effort, and they do just kind of cover each other with attacks. So unless you can, like, break them apart like this, where they're pretty spread out, and they're all in your field of view, this is when you really want to go in. But anything other than that, and just use a stun or a gun or anything, it's an elite enemy, so people can't really be that mad if you gun them down. Okay, I hope that answers literally every question someone could have about a Rager.